Welcome aboard Free Dive with Seapoint Digital, your go-to podcast for deep dives into the world of digital marketing. I'm Christy.
And I'm Anna Lynn.
Your hosts navigating through the currents of growth, strategy, and innovation in the digital realm.
We're going to talk. We're going to laugh. It's going to be a good time.
Let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of the Free Dive podcast. I am, of course, your host, Christy Billingsley. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. I'm really excited about this one, guys. I did some research, and I'm getting really into this social savvy, social media thing we've got going on. I think it's going to be a really good monthly thing for us. And I was really excited because I got some good feedback on LinkedIn a few weeks ago that made me really motivated to keep moving with this. So thank you for listening. Thank you for your comments. Glad that it's helpful. So in thinking about what to do next and what social media platform to do next, like what do we do next? I did a whole bunch of research, and I thought about my own social media journey here with Seapoint, things that I've struggled with, and some of the feedback that I've gotten back. And I just thought, I'm going to tackle something that I struggled with in the past, and maybe it's something that you struggle with, and maybe that would be helpful. So let's just dive right into it and keep this episode short and concise and to the point. Does that sound good? Let's do it. So one of the things that in the past had been a mistake, we're going to go into Christy's mistakes. Ready? We could make a whole separate podcast on that. If you're interested, let me know. Don't let me know. One of the things that I used to do that was a mistake when writing caption copy for social media posts would be to write out the copy and then post it across every social media platform. So LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I would just post the same one across. And it took some time to realize that was a mistake. Any takers on why? It seems like that should be obvious, that wouldn't fly. But after some of our creative meetings that we had here, we kind of fine-tuned that it was in fact not working. And the reasons that it was not working, well, every social platform has its own audience, right? And its own tone. Therefore, caption copy has got to be different for everyone. So that being said, we're going to get into how to write caption copy for every platform differently. What the tone is, what the vibe is, a couple of examples. Sound good? So whether you run a professional account or you just want to see higher engagement for your personal account, you might want to get out a pen, take some notes. Or if you're driving and not in a position to do that, lock them all away in your brain. All right, so here we go. Some things before we get into the specific ones, we're going to go into some do's and don'ts and suggestions for success. So let's do it. So a couple of things to keep in mind when you are writing caption copy. Number one, we need to write like you're talking to a friend. Like all things on social media, we have to kind of take into mind we've talked about this in the past. Do what you like to see. What I mean by that, I'm not wording that well. The things that you like to see on social media, do those things. The things that you don't like to see, don't do those things. So for readability, we're going to get into how to enhance your readability. Write like you're talking to a friend. Start your posts with something engaging, like a question or a bold statement. Important information comes first. So we're going to grab the reader from the beginning, make them stay, read the rest. And don't be afraid to use emojis. Some statistics show that posts with emojis have a higher engagement rate. I don't know. People like emojis. That just, I don't know why, guys. People, it makes them happy. I would say limit them. Don't go too hard on them. Use a few. Okay. Use a mixture of prompts, resources, and include a call to action. So, like all things, we're making this with a purpose. Why are you making this post? What's the point? You want them to do something with it? You want them to head to a link? You want them to go buy something? You want them to just like and comment? What is it that you want them to do? Make sure you say that at the end. Keep it small, short, to the point. So be as concise as you can. You don't need to make it unnecessarily long. We know people's attention spans are small. Take that into consideration when you're writing. So, more suggestions for success. Use AI for help. This is going to be a tip that we just keep on recycling through always. So, it's just the world we live in now, guys. We're going to be using AI. One of the ways I do that, you can do that. Best way to do that. I'm a chat GPT lady. Anytime I have content that I'm stuck on that I don't know what to write, I pop into my little chat GPT and I ask it, as I give it as much information as I can. Here's what my post is about, whether it's a picture, it's a video, it's a blog, it's a podcast episode. Here's everything I can tell ChatGPT about it. Here's the content, and here's what I want to say about it. Here's how much I want to say about it. Here's the tone I want to say about it. And here's the platform I'm posting it on. Give it to me. Very often, what ChatGPT will give me back is maybe like halfway there at best. And then you have to continue to refine. But the benefit of that is it gets me started. But use it as a resource. Tell a story to engage. So we're all into, we get hooked by storytelling. If there's a story there, use that to your advantage. Use your hashtags wisely. We've talked about this in the past. This is another one that we will continue to recycle through, a mixture of long form, short form hashtags. Use a hashtag tool online if that helps you as well to find the best ones. Do some testing to find the best hashtags for you. Use them wisely. Use plain language, not complicated. So what do we mean by that? Well, we don't want to talk down to our audience. No one's impressed by your fancy language. It's irritating, right? So, we're not impressing anybody by these big eloquent words and fancy language. It's annoying. Speak in plain language, be concise, so don't irritate people. Use only as many words as you need. So this is just kind of going back to keeping it short and to the point. You're not filling out the whole thing. You're not writing a blog in your caption. We're not doing that. So as long as you can fit in everything that you need, you've created this template of starting with something engaging, and in the middle you've got some kind of story, you've got emojis in there, you've got a call to action, you've got some hashtags. That is kind of the template and the meat of a good post. So now we're going to kind of get into the different social media platforms and the best way to write for them, because like I said, one size does not fit all here. This was a mistake that I had been making for a while. And once I had realized that we can't just write one, and this has been something that we've been working on and refining for a while, but you can't just write one post and then just post it across all your platforms and assume it's going to do the same. We started to do better. We started to get better engagement. And I'm going to give you the reasons why. So now's the time for your pen and your note taking. So we're going to start with LinkedIn. So the tone of LinkedIn: professional, insightful, slightly conversational. So what's the best approach? We're going to share industry knowledge, thought leadership, success stories. This is a great place for the statistic I think I saw was sharing empowerment about your employees, which is fantastic because especially as a business, we really like to. One of the things we do here is we really like to celebrate people's work anniversaries. If we're going to take a little step outside, talk about Christy's opinion, because again, why else have a podcast if you can't share your opinion? I think it's super important for people to feel seen, heard, appreciated. I think that goes such a long way in people's work ethic and morale, company morale. So I push really hard for people to just be celebrated. I think everybody in life should be celebrated, but the opportunities that we find to do that, we do that. So work anniversaries, we really push out there. And then whenever we get a new team member, we often do video interviews. But I have seen a lot of other agencies just do fun things like throughout the year, like they'll do a member highlight and they'll ask some questions, and even just not even in a video, but like in a like a carousel. Those kind of things are great for LinkedIn, like just doing an employee highlight. And those have the best engagement on LinkedIn. Just a little side point for you. So keep it positive, empowering, maintain professionalism. LinkedIn is a place for professionalism and being conversational. So here's an example. Curious how digital marketing is evolving? There's that question we're starting with. Here's how we've been adapting to new trends. What strategies are you finding effective? Let's discuss. Let's discuss is the call to action. Did you catch that? So it's concise, it's short, it's to the point. Caught you with that first sentence with a question, curious how digital marketing is evolving. If you are curious, now you're going to keep reading. You're going to end it with the call to action about let's discuss. And that's going to lead you to, I don't know, maybe write comments. If this did have a blog to click or a video to click or any kind of link to click, you're going to want to go and click it. Moving on. Twitter, the tone, witty, concise, conversational. So this is a big reason why when I was making the mistake of just posting across all platforms, this was not working for a lot of reasons. The character limit for one, but also Twitter's tone is so opposite of LinkedIn, right? Like Twitter, people are not using to be professional. It's not why people are there. It is a place just for kind of witty content. So the best approach here, use snappy, eye-catching phrases, stay on trends, be relatable, incorporate hashtags strategically, come back to that, engage in real-time conversations with timely content. So Twitter is a place that does require more watching, listening, and following along. Whatever's trending right now, that's going to be on Twitter, and you got to keep up. You gotta keep up if you want to be engaging well on Twitter. Whatever the trending hashtags are, the trending memes are, that's where you want to be and be engaging. Example. Is anyone else still trying to master Instagram Reels? Here's a quick tip that might help you out. Hashtag social media tips. Super short, super to the point. Had that engaging first question. Had one hashtag. I love that. I live for that. So, and here's a quick tip. It's like, okay, I'm interested in the tip and I will follow along. So very different than what we were doing on LinkedIn. And still relevant to the platform that it's on. All right, moving along. TikTok. Tone, fun, authentic, casual. So again, very different from what we've talked about. This is people are on TikTok for entertainment. But at the same time, you can post professional business content there. You're just doing it in way more casual fashion. So the best approach, be creative and lighthearted. Humor works well here. And engaging with the trending audios and challenges, that helps boost your visibility. A conversational tone, sometimes even self-deprecating, resonates well. Uh, this is especially with trending audios. Those I often find can be self-deprecating, humorous, keeping it light, keeping it funny, keeping it real, authenticity. So here's an example. POV, you thought starting a podcast would be easy, but here's what really happens behind the scenes. There's some emojis mixed in there. Hashtag podcast life, hashtag creator struggles. So these POVs they do well here on TikTok. It's like, here's my point of view from the day of my work life, whatever. And it's relatable. It's like, this is my point of view of how I'm struggling. That is relatable. It's funny. It's light. It makes me want to go, because I relate to that, I'm going to like it. I might even share it with my friend who I'm podcasting with, or I know they're a podcaster. They like podcasts. It's the shareability is high on this one. Instagram, tone, engaging, relatable, aspirational. So the best approach, depending on your audience, because we have to know our audience, who's following us and what our niche is, use a mix of friendly and conversational tones with personal storytelling. Personal storytelling. Be visually driven and pair captivating captions with strong calls to action or questions to foster interaction. So let us marinate on that for a second, because sometimes a mistake that can be made, mistakes of the past, is that Instagram Reels and TikTok can cross promote. Sometimes they can, okay? Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do not, okay? Very often, I mean, the ongoing joke is that like Reels are like a week behind from TikTok, because everything from TikTok makes its way to Reels. Some of them do, and some of them should not. Because again, the tone of Instagram is a little bit more aspirational, instead of TikTok being like casual. Does that make sense? Following me? If you hop on your Reels, I very often will find more of like these motivational, meaningful, like, quotes, and instead of the very like like unhinged, silly things that I see on TikTok, for a reason. That's where they belong, separate. But again, going back to like on a professional level, Instagram, it was started with photos. It's always been for visual, right? For visuals. So we're going to pair captivating captions with good calls to actions and questions. So here's an example. Thinking about switching up your social media strategy, here are 3 things we learned from our latest post. Hashtag marketing tips. I love that we're keeping our hashtags here short. So you got that first engaging question. And then here are 3 things we learned from our latest post. It doesn't feel like a call to action, but it is. It is, because it goes, you go in your brain, what did you learn? What are the 3 things? I want to know. I'm going to find it. So this is very short, and I'm not saying you have to keep it this short. This is just an example. Often I find what does well on Instagram too, it bulleted lists, breaking up the bulk paragraph. No one's going to read it, period. You think about how you scroll Instagram when there's just like bulk paragraphs of text, scroll on by, don't care. But if there's a little bit, like if you're going to feed me information in the caption, bullet it up, separate it out, and maybe I'm more likely to read it. If you're going to give me more information in the caption. You know what I'm saying? Okay, moving on. YouTube, the tone, informative, entertaining, conversational. We could get a little bit more engaged in our caption here because there's more content on a YouTube video. So, best approach, directly address your audience. We're talking straight to you. Blending education and entertainment. Incorporate humor or enthusiasm to make your content more engaging and encourage interaction in the comments. We want people in the comments on YouTube. That is where the engagement comes from. YouTube sees comments and it goes, shoot this video to more people. People like it. Send it out to more people to watch. You want more comments. A good trick when you post a YouTube video is to put a comment yourself and pin it with a call to action, with a question to then have people continue to comment down, get the comment started as a way to kind of propose people to comment. Got it? Okay, so here's an example. Ever wonder how top brands create virtual content? Here's the breakdown you need. Don't forget to subscribe for more marketing insights. This is a short example, but it's giving us our sample here. So another question that is kind of motivating to continue on. Have you ever wondered how they do this? Yes. So here's the breakdown. Now I'm learning how you're gonna answer this question. Don't forget to subscribe. That's my call to action. And I will get more marketing insights if I do. So very different tone from the others. And Facebook, the tone, friendly, engaging, approachable. So the best approach here, using a community-focused tone that invites engagement, questions, and comments. So Facebook's more of the place for community, right? So community, we're going to share stories, ask opinions, focus on relatable content that encourages sharing. So it's kind of funny because like all of these social media, they're all social, right? But they, in certain ways, they're kind of like slightly different. Facebook's about community. Here's an example. We're excited to announce our new podcast episode on mastering social media marketing. We're excited. Here's for the community. What platforms are you struggling with? Let's chat in the comments. There's my call to action. Please chat with us in the comments. Starting with we're excited gets you excited, right? We're talking to you. Like we are approachable. It's a friendly sentiment, and it's engaging to invite them to chat with us in the comments. Like we are so happy about this. It asks a question. What platforms are you struggling with? That's something that people could be chatting about in the comments. So the caption is creating this whole like multiple opportunities of things that people could be doing in our comments. And sharing, we're excited about this. People may want to share this because they're excited for us. And it spreads the community. So these are just some simple examples. The point you should be taking away from this, I hope, is whatever platforms you're on, if you are on multiple platforms, to be considering how to write your copy differently. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Even though I've broken it down in a way that might make it feel complicated. When in doubt, ask AI. Always. It just, it is such a helpful tool. And we've had a few episodes on it and we will definitely have more. But the best way to help you get started and figure out questions that you could ask. That's a really good way to use it. Just when you're stuck, that's what I do. So again, in review, make sure you know your character length. Use your brand as your voice, right? Like all of these platforms share one thing in that authenticity is key. You know your brand, you know yourself. So make sure that's coming through no matter what you're posting to. Keep everything short and concise, and including hashtags, including emojis, and you'll do okay. So, like all things, refinement, it takes time. Like I started this with, we were not nailing it in the beginning. And we're getting there. Even now, we're just everything is just a work in progress, and we're just all working on ourselves, aren't we, guys? So I hope this was helpful to you. Sometimes I explain things and I'm like, is this only making sense in Chrissy's brain, or is this actually helpful? And then I get some comments that are like, no, that was helpful, and I got that, and I liked that. So please, simply so that I know that this is not just utter nonsense, leave me comments to help me feel like it's not utter nonsense. Moving forward, as we continue this social media, social savvy, I don't know what to call it. Is it like I don't know what to call this monthly thing, and we're going to do what you would like to learn about next. We've talked about Instagram quite a bit. I have gotten some feedback from people that LinkedIn is kind of a struggle platform for them, and so I was thinking about doing that next. But if that sounds boring and you don't want to learn about that, totally understand, because I agree it's boring and I don't really want to talk about it. So, but I will do it for you. So you have the power here. You have the power, but you do have to tell me. So, if you're listening in Spotify, you can comment in Spotify. If you're listening in YouTube, you can comment on YouTube. Wherever you are, you can reach me. It's not hard. And I appreciate you very much. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Apparently, according to my statistics, I'm getting listeners all around the world, which is fantastic. So wherever in the world you are, I hope you're having a great day. So I hope to see you again soon. We'll see you next time. It's the end.
No, it's not. There's more.
There's always more.
Don't be sad. You can catch our full video interviews on our YouTube channel. Come find us.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends so that we're not sad.
And follow us on TikTok.
And Instagram.
It'll make your day happier, promise.
And we'll know if you do. Until next time.